I'm going to go home and get a good night's sleep as good as I can tonight. And
when you want to figure this stuff out, I mean, always first.
No, I'm not. This has been a lot of focus on, this game. So, yeah, it's just be one day at a time, truly. I just want to say thank you guys for everything this year. I really appreciate all your effort, and I know it's hard for you guys too. It's hard for us players to make it through, and you guys got a tough job, and I appreciate all that you guys do to cover us and everyone who watches and is a big fan of the sport. We're very grateful for everyone's support, and hopefully, I love this organization. It's a great place to be, and thank you everybody for welcoming me, all you regulars, and just very grateful for the respect, and I hope I gave the same thing back to you guys. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I guess that's the press conference equivalent of the Irish goodbye.
Well,
you just leave without saying anything. I mean, he pivoted to that closing statement during the question and answers. He pivots to that statement and just leaves. And people are like, what the hell was that? There wasn't even a question that he answered. He just had his comments, he made them, and he left. And I thank you all for welcoming me. Well, he was welcomed 2 years ago. He's got 3 seasons in Tampa. It felt final. And, Chris, based upon what you said last segment, the fact that the cupboard around him is bare,
right?
That the shelf life has expired on the stuff that is inside the cabinets,
right?
Tampa is not the place for Tom Brady to play in 2023 if that's where he's going to be, because the deck is not stacked for him there. And look, it may not be stacked for him anywhere else, but there's no reason to stay in Tampa. The only reason he went there in the first place was because he thought he would win 1 or more championships. If you don't think you're going to win a championship, there's someplace else I think he'd rather be.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It just, again, I don't think it was any coincidence that, there was the Sean Payton, Tom Brady to Miami thing last year. I think that you saw the writing on the wall with the football team to a degree. Got stuck in a position where there wasn't any other options. He came back to the football team. They tried to make it work, and of course they, hit a myriad of issues throughout the year. But yeah, you like
myriad.
that word? Like that?
Wow.
I'm big time here today. Look at that, Tuesday. It's a super wild card Sims here, okay? But either way. Yeah, I mean, you said it. We've been talking about this. He needs a certain type of support system at this point in his career. And he does need to feel protected and have a top-notch offensive line around him and a running game to help out a little bit. That's when they were at their best when they won the Super Bowl. They were, bludgeoning people with the power run game. Oh, wait, play action pass. Let's block it up. Boom, I'll throw a bomb or a laser down the field. And all of a sudden we're in the Super Bowl beating the crap out of the Kansas City Chiefs and winning it. So he needs something like that. But in my heart of hearts, I don't think that's coming. I don't. In my heart of hearts, I really think that'll be the last time we saw Tom Brady play on a football field. I think that was it. It was a great run. We'll see. I'm sure he'll think about it and maybe talk to a few teams, but I don't know. With just people I know, he's always said 45. I just feel like that was it last night, and we're not going to see him again.
The trigger for me this year came the day after they lost to the Browns. They blew the late lead, then lost in overtime, and he said on his podcast with Jim Gray, I'd rather play and lose than not play at all. And some of what he said last night before he made his exit stage, what would that be? Stage right from his perspective, stage left from ours, so whichever one is proper is the right one. You can't go wrong with left or right. But before that, he was talking about how 32 teams, 18 are at home, 7 of the remaining 8 are going to be pissed off when it's all said and done. That's just the way it is. Accepting the reality that you can't have it your way every year. You can't win the Super Bowl every year. He got his brain rewired in New England thinking we can win the Super Bowl every year. We can win the Super Bowl every year. And he's kind of now in this phase of his career where it's like, well, you know what? Winning the Super Bowl isn't everything. Playing is everything. The journey is everything. Learning. You learn something from yourself every time you lose. He said that after one of the various losses by the Buccaneers this year. So, Chris, we're going to talk about Sean Payton's dance card in a bit. But of the teams that have been linked to him, Cardinals, Broncos, Texans, and now the Panthers. 2 of those teams could push the door open for Tom Brady, Texans and Panthers. And wouldn't it be something if Tom Brady ended up in the division, one of the weakest divisions in football, with the Panthers, going against the Buccaneers, Sean Payton going against the Saints. Boy, all of a sudden the NFC South gets very interesting in 2023. But if those two are determined to find their way together, if they're determined to give a middle finger to 345 Park Avenue, and I would suspect, based upon their own individual histories of being suspended by the commissioner, Payton a decade ago for trumped-up Bountygate charges, Brady 6 years ago for trumped-up Deflategate charges. Wouldn't they love, after the Dolphins got whacked for trying to get Peyton and Brady last year, wouldn't they love to find a way to come together and give a giant middle finger to 345 Park Avenue? I'm telling you, I wouldn't write that off. I would not write that off, because both of them have just enough impishness that when you get them together, the personalities may intertwine in a way where they say, let's go do this thing. Let's go shove it where the sun don't shine.
Well, they got
on the
that.
Folks who
Yeah.
suspended us in the past.
Well, yeah. I mean, they got edge, and they're chippy, both of them. And you're right about that marriage, and they'd love to shove it up anywhere. The sun don't shine on a lot of people, for sure. But there's two things, okay, that I think about to maybe counter that argument. One, are any of those teams that you just mentioned really ready to support Brady and go, oh, okay, right? I mean, Tampa,
Carolina.
Well, maybe
Carolina.
They're getting close. I mean, I don't know if I'm ready to say that quite yet, to go there. But yeah, they're close, and maybe they can find the finishing pieces in this offseason. They do got some young talent, and we know that. Offensive line is, got better in running the football. Pass protection, okay. Can they protect Brady the way he needs to? But here's the other, two little wrinkles that you throw into this. One, okay, yeah, you get Tom Brady. What? So, but then the next year you're also looking for another quarterback. That's gonna be an appealing process to some of these teams who are in the wait, we're trying to find a quarterback. Now, you could play out, wait, we're going to draft a guy and then have Brady be there for a year and he can learn under Brady. That might work if Brady wants to do that. And then the other factor I think that you got to play into this, you name the teams, but I mean, the elephant in the room, of course, is the Raiders and that conversation, and you brought it up a few weeks ago, and there's no Derek Carr, and there's Josh McDaniels, and they do have the right weaponry at receiver that I think, Darren Waller, Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, that seems New England-ish in my prime. And they're all aligned. They're going to put some money and some assets into that this year. Maybe that's a team. But gosh, I don't know. I just don't see it. I don't. I feel like he's a guy that still can throw the football, but I don't know if he can hang in there in the pocket as you want to go through another challenge of moving, dealing with, setting the groundwork for a new football team. There's just a part of me that doesn't see that happening. I don't know.
Well, here's the problem with the Raiders.
Yeah.
The problem with the Raiders is the guy that we're going to see in person on Saturday, Patrick Mahomes. And the guy
we
in
saw
LA,
last Saturday
Justin
night.
Herbert.
Right. Yeah,
Right. So, that's the problem. You're not going to be in a position to feel confident that you can win the division. He's
Definitely
staying
not.
in the same division where a sub-500 team just won the division.
Yeah, I hear you.
And one of the factors, proximity to his kids, Las Vegas, San Francisco. I mean, the 49ers reportedly are going to take a look this time around. He may not want it this time around. He may not want to be on the other side of the country from his kids, given everything that's happened in his personal life. Carolina, to me, makes a ton of sense all of a sudden, assuming that the Panthers and the Saints could work something out here. And hey, look, the Saints are going to lose Sean Payton anyway. They're going to get something in return for him anyway. And if he's determined to go to Carolina, he's going to Carolina. But David Tepper has been desperate for a great head coach and a franchise quarterback. And you made a good point. Yeah, what are you going to do the year after Tom Brady's done? Well, Miami was willing to cross that bridge. I just think Peyton and Brady are so determined to find a way to work together that it wouldn't stop them from doing it. And Peyton would say to Tepper, we'll worry about next year when next year comes. I went to New Orleans, and I didn't know who my quarterback was going to be. I wanted Tony Romo, and they wouldn't let me have him. I got Drew Brees after the Dolphins said, no thanks, we don't want a guy with 20-plus studs in his shoulder, and we made it work. We'll make it work. That's kind of what he said last week when the issue of the Broncos came up. It wasn't about, well, I got a bad quarterback position. It was when I went to New Orleans, I had no quarterback situation. We made it work. We'll make it work. Either way, we'll make it work. So I'm fascinated by the possibility of Brady, Carolina with Sean Payton, because I just think there are so many reasons why. If they were determined to do it last year, they'd be determined to do it again this year. And I think he is going to play. I really do. When Rodney Harrison said it that night, Christmas night, after interviewing Tom Brady, talking to Tom Brady, Rodney Harrison goes on our air and says, I think Tom Brady's going to play next year, but not for the Buccaneers. I mean, come on. His former teammate, he's got to know something. He either said something to him or Rodney picked it up. But I just think we're going to see him for one more year. He's going to want to go even beyond the limits he set for himself. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.